What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the blue color, playing as Hades. His name is Wallaloo. Or Wallalo, I mean, he's got it's the name of the priest, feels good. And in the bottom of the map, in the red color, playing as Artis, is a 500 miles to Roma, or Roma, who knows. And this is a best of 3, I believe, for another one of the Smurf tournaments. This one's now hosted by DoD Shelty here. I believe it's a $100 prize pool with a very special thing that it comes with it. And that's that you don't get to pick your god. Random civilization, though, not random god. So you get to pick your civilization. You don't get to pick which major god you get, which is very, very exciting, very, very fun, and all of the good stuff in that regard. So we got the Smurfs back. We have no idea who's playing here, but it's bound to be a great game. We've got Arctic Craters, the new map in the map pool. It's going to be here for about a month. I think it's already been out for 2 weeks or so. So maybe another couple of weeks, and then it's going to get rotated out of there, and a new map's going to come into the pool. It's special. The special parts about Arctic Craters is simply that all of the town centers are in craters, which means we get to have a pretty cool element of the game that we don't get to see very much, which is if you have a unit on the top of this cliff and it attacks down the bottom of this cliff, you get a times 0. Well, I guess it's a times 1.25 multiplier. So you get an extra 0.25% on your attacks. If I'm correct about those numbers, I could be incorrect about those numbers, but if he's shooting here, going down here, these guys take more damage, and I believe it's in the reverse as well, so these guys take less damage. So defending these positions can be very hard from the bottom of these areas, and you can also set up towers and things of that nature. The other thing that is very, very unique about this map, which is not the case on any other map at all, is how far away wood is from your home base. You have to walk all the way up the cliff up to this wood line here. So that means that this map heavily favors gods which can wood starve, which is something is funny to even think about, because what is a wood starve? I mean, it's like a gold starve, except it's done on the wood. So you want to go, if you were to know that this was the map coming in, you'd probably want to go Odin, or you might want to go Thor and get some heavy rays going on here, burn the back tree and just consistently circle around the wood, make life difficult for your opponent there. But we've got Isis and we have Hades here. So these are both very defensive gods, not going to be taking advantage of those those little minute details of cliffs and things like that. And yeah, we've got some relics on the map. So we've got Pygmalion's statue here. And absolutely, you cannot pass this relic up. It's going to save many, many villagers from their demise. So you must grab that one. It's very important. And we got Trojan Gate Hinge here, which is, I mean, probably not really worth it. It's only 20% bonus wall hit points, and you're probably not going to be walling too much on this map till a little bit later. And also we have the nose of the Sphinx for Wahibre here, picking that relic up and feeling good about it as he's healing up his priest, getting him back out into the battle to get more obelisks around. We do see that for some reason 500 miles to Roma is onto the berries instead of onto this juicy hunt that's up here. Maybe saving it for a little bit later. He has a couple of goats here that he can jump onto. Going to town center on this map is a little bit risky. We do see Bast is incoming, and I'm assuming we're going to be seeing Athena from Ululu. The reason why we're going to be seeing Athena here over Ares is simply because Ares is not going to get you that much value in this game because of Isis's monument protection. Gets monuments to the villagers, gets monument to the soldiers even. We may be seeing some Anubites here from 500 miles to Roma, but Ajax coming in and he's going to be harassing a little bit. Double monuments, and I say we might be seeing some Anubites, but then we see the Bast incoming, so we might be seeing some Sphinx is what I actually should be saying, or Scorpion spam, Scorpion Man spam here. And this Ajax is actually doing quite a significant amount of damage over here, but as soon as the watchtower comes up, these villagers are going to be completely fine, and the Ajax is going to have to get out of there, as he is. Sphinx comes out, going to be searching for some villagers. What is going on in the top of this base here? We've got no military buildings for our Hades player here. He's moving up to grab a second town center, it looks like, and just wanted to get his Chiron out and his Ajax out. Got some walls coming up to protect this gold mine. Don't want to be in too much of having too many issues over there, which is fair enough. It's not the best watchtower. What's the range on this? 14 range. You could definitely just wedge a Chiron in here and start shooting away at this. And we do see the Minotaur has found villagers yet again. Maybe worth it to just cut your losses and go for that goat there. We don't see any wood income from 500 miles to Roma here, so that's going to be fine, but it's going to be a difficult time for him. We do see the Minotaur coming in. Not going to be able to get any attacks on the laborer just yet. The priest and the pharaoh over here laying those special attacks. No dead villagers just yet for Roma. But the Chiron is in here, and now what do you do? We've got the Sphinx picks off a villager though, so the Sphinx doing some serious damage, and with the Chiron out of the base of Wallaloo, that means that Sphinx will be able to do big damage. Big damage indeed. And not only that, Trojan Gate Hinge being picked up and Nose to the Sphinx being picked up. Armory is trying to get up as fast as he possibly can. We do have almost enough food. Just going to not build any more villages, and he should be there. Maybe going to cancel that last villager as he's able to, or build it out and get that resources. A little bit late to the next age. Trying to chuck up the end of this wall here, and he's going to be in a good position with the Sphinx searching around. Could get a lot of damage here if he finds those villagers, but he's not going there. Minotaur still trying to figure out what to do, but it looks like a really nice building placement, but I think that is blocked off there with the armory and the tree. Hard to tell, it's right on the edge. But even if the Chiron gets in here, I don't think there's a location he can sit, which is not in range of this watchtower. So a successful fast heroic at this point in the game for Roma. It's going to be, the only issue for him is going to be securing a second gold mine. If he can do that, he should be in a fairly decent position to fight this game. However, the one thing we have to remember is he's against a Hades player here, which is completely different from the Zeus dynamic, where you do have an option to get some aggressive Ancestors Eclipse action going on. But for Hades, it's quite, we might lose this village. No, he's attacking a different one. It's quite easy for Hades to defend against Ancestors Eclipse by just sitting under their town center. And if you try and fight them there, the extra building damage and HP just helps out immensely. And we do see Chiron getting pushed out of there, and the monument to the priest is up. This is 3 monument Isis here, and he's going to be looking for something to do with these villagers. And the Chiron coming here, we do see a market, potentially going to be a semi-fast mythic here for 500 miles to Roma. Even a fast mythic. How much food does he have? Not that much. Maybe the market just going up as a fake. Maybe a fake. Surely he makes, well, not even making Scorpion, man. He's looking a little bit lost in this game. It looks like almost going to pick off this Minotaur, but decides against the final attack to kill it off, and he's going to keep that Sphinx alive for the time being. We've got Stronghold now going up for 500 miles to Roma. Looks like the market is simply just there as a trading source here, and that Migdol is going to be coming up fairly soon here. And looking like Woolulu is going to be really happy with the position that he's in right now. He's 2 town centers. He's been fairly untouched by the Sphinx raid here, and he's got access to hunt up the wazoo, so he's really getting the pressure on here. And not only that, there is an extremely exposed gold mine here, and once this gold mine in the back is dealt with, it's going to be a difficult situation for 500 miles to Roma to be in, but it's looking like he's going for this town center. Nice, well, it's not really a distraction, but nice response to the attack there as we're going for this town center. It's coming up. Still not building many units though. We're finally seeing some Scorpion Men coming out. And I think that 500 miles to Roma realizes he's against Hades. He's against a classical Hades for that matter. And that means that he's only gonna have to deal with 2 heroes for quite a while. And also on top of that, Achilles is a difficult unit to get out because it costs so much food. And as we know, food myth units, we generally don't see them getting spammed until after we're fully popped in villages, because you have to spend so much food on villages. So we probably don't see Achilles coming out very soon, even if Woolulu gets to the heroic age, which he has clicked up now. He's going through Aphrodite, and because he's been booming so hard off the 2 town centers, he's probably going to be looking to go straight to the mythic age as an option. But Roma moving forward, looking for these boar over here, but he's going to be spotting the villages and retreating them straight away. This fairy does not do a lot of damage to these villages at all, but does manage to pick one off. Finishes eating the rest of that boar, which was really not a lot of food at all. Granary finished, but the army from Woolulu coming over now and greeting these villagers as they're trying to run away. But we're seeing 500 miles getting onto this food source and spotting these villagers here as well. It's probably not a bad idea to just Ancestors Eclipse here, but there is some nice walls set up from our Hades player to defend against that. And we do see the Ancestors Eclipses coming down. The villagers immediately running away, and while I said that, it's like, we didn't think about these walls. These villagers are probably going to get away here, even with the extra speed boost and the damage from Eclipse there. It's looking like he's not going to be able to get all too much, with a couple of minions staying back to defend against these villagers. And it looks like the minions get around the wall. Not a very well-constructed wall at all. I think maybe even 500 miles knew about that because he sent his Scorpion Man in to scout. So he's inside the base of Woolulu here. The Scorpion Man is well going to be doing exceptional damage in here. I think he may 2 hits villagers, but does lose that Scorpion Man there. There's also the Scorpion Man in the middle of the base of Woolulu here as well, going to be picking off that Nemean Lion and picking off the gold villagers as well. But 500 miles going to be losing some of these to the town center fire, looking to come after this villager here. Remember, 2 shots a villager with Eclipse here. Absolutely gigantic. Eclipse got 5 seconds left. Going to maybe try and get the Scorpion Man out of this location and keep him alive for another day, heal him back up, and he's going to be in a good position. We're seeing Migdol Stronghold getting thrown up on this food location, and we are now going to be seeing a reverse attack, a counterattack from Woolulu here. This is his best bet, is to get this situation dealt with. Only 1 villager building this Migdol Stronghold has to be a mistake there from 500 miles. He's never going to get this one up. The units are all on top of it, and he's going to be up against what looks to be 6 Chariot Archers versus all these Hippocon, and also Curse, for that matter, is going to be a big deal as well. By retreating back into his town center, trying to defend against this attack here, he's going to do all right. And these Toxotes chasing the villagers. Villagers should get away from them. They're not that much faster. The Toxotes only 0.4 speed, so the villagers can run away without losing too many hit points there. We do see Curse coming in, which is going to clean up 4 villager kills with that Curse. It's not the biggest deal. It saves a couple of the Chariot Archers, but the Chariot Archers trying to get back into this town center. And the Toxoid is getting that little bonus. Not as much as, I don't think there actually is any bonus for standing that far down the cliff. But the town center going to be dealing a little bit of damage. We do see a Siege Workshop coming up for 500 miles here. He's still got some of this gold mine left. These Scorpion Men over here need healing. It's very important. They need to get back to full HP. And we do see the Pharaoh and the villagers have spotted Woolulu grabbing this 2nd town center here, which is, or his 3rd town center here, I should say. Now Roma trying to pick off some of these Toxotes who are getting away from here at this point. And he's going to be okay here. It's looking like The counterattack's been dealt with, and we're seeing probably he's got 66 favor in the bank, so he can really spam out those Scorpion men. But throwing away villages here, not what you want to be seeing. That's gotta hurt right there. Now Woolaloo looking for what he can do. There's not really any gold mines that are completely secured here for 500 miles, but the army of Woolaloo is really slow, and we're going to be seeing, as these watchtowers, they do not have granulation, so it's kind of fine to walk in and walk out at this point, and that's that. But seeing him looking for something, maybe going to try and get an eye on this gold mine, see that there's only 300 gold left in it. This is probably the gold mine of choice for 500 miles. His army situated over here. It's going to be hard for Woolaloo to just walk through there. He's looking to try and bash down the wall, but with the extra wall defense here from Nose of the Sphinx and Trojan Gate Hinge, this was like 810 HP, but just going to be repairing it, trying to get every last little drop of gold out of that gold mine before he runs away from it. I actually decided to turn around onto it as well to finish it off, but it's going to be expired fairly soon. We do see a counter raid coming in. This is mass chariot archers at its finest, and he's going to be retreating away from here. He's got a lot of chariot archers. He's got some scorpion men in the back, and the heroes are out of position right now, but or making some peltast. You got to be really careful with peltast. While they do counter, in quotation marks, they counter chariot archers. Look how close they are to each other. They are 5 HP difference, and that's just against the direct counter. There's also siege towers here to distract fire, and I'd say that the difference between a Toxotes and a Chariot Archer is not that much more in favor. We do see there's the restoration, so 500 miles after having to retreat away a little bit longer. These siege towers are going to slowly fall here, but they're taking the brunt of the damage, which is what you want. And now 500 miles can turn around, start fighting. Nice micro over here. Needs to try and pick off Ajax, get these Scorpion men around the back and attacking these human units, which he's doing right now. Scorpion men are idle here, and one attacking the Chiron. Need to micro that one and get him away from that Chiron as soon as he can. But I guess he's got so many Scorpion men, he doesn't even care. It's more of just a distraction at this point. But Chiron does manage to pick off one Scorpion man there. The other Scorpion man coming in doing some damage here, but it's probably going to get picked off as well, because you can't just leave it there to die at all. He does manage to pick off one Hippocon there, but trading, I guess it's a close trade. 150 wood for like 100 resources maybe on the cav, maybe 110 resources on the cav. 120 resources on the cav, I should say. So it's fairly close to trade, plus a little bit more resources there as well. And we're seeing Woolaloo just chill for the time being. Archery range going up. He's got good command of this map at this point, and he's been booming the entire game. And he's probably full villages right now, whereas 500 miles is not quite as close to full villages at all. So we are seeing a Feistus coming through, and the favor situation is looking really, really nice for him. And we're looking like the raid coming onto this gold mine. I don't think that... Actually, no, he has spotted it. He's going to be moving into this gold mine and trying to pick it off here. But there is a Scorpion man to defend. It's not a lot, but it's going to help out, and maybe the villagers can help him win this fight. And he's going to send the rest of the Scorpion men over here as well. The cavalry are going to be trying to take down the Scorpion man. Nice micro pulling him back, but the Hippocon just decided, we're just going to kill the villagers then if you don't want to fight me with the Scorpion men. But here we go. We got this is actually like probably in favor of 500 miles with all of those Scorpion men there. We've got all the chariot, all of the Peltast and Toxotes out with it, as well as the Achilles. You see, where did he throw it down? Plenivolt gets thrown down somewhere. I actually got no idea where he threw it down. Oh, we threw it down on his forward base. That's a risky maneuver right there. If 500 miles can make this push happen, which he may be able to, but he's focusing down the Achilles and then missing some shots there. But the Scorpion man is going to be able to go to town on this. And we're seeing like 500 miles is like, okay, I see your Plenivolt. It's a very bad position. If I can take this town center down, I can take that plenty vault, and then I can take that extra boost to my economy and maybe get an advantage here in this game. So we'll see if he can make this happen. He's got the siege towers on top of the town center. But remember, it is a Hades town center, so it takes a while. Nice micro from those peltasts, and we pick up a chariot archer here. But you got to micro it so much. That's why I kind of advise against making archers in this matchup, or at least making peltasts in this matchup. It's looking like 500 Miles is going to be taking this town center down though. All the army from Wooloo is fading to pieces. We've got these priests here dealing peak damage with funeral rites, and the Pharaoh here as well does take down that Colossus. Town center falling for Wooloo, going to be losing this plenty vault as well. You can see these siege towers are about to capture it for Roma. Absolutely huge for him. And do we have a market down there? There's the market. He did build the market in his base as well, so he can go Mythic Age here. We can see his resources sitting quite low, but with the help of that plenty vault there, he's going to be in a really, really good position here. And all of these siege towers out, the completely wood-based army of ISIS is just showing its absolute power right now. Scorpion Man, siege tower, chariot archer is just too much for this Hades army to handle. The real counter to this is just pure cavalry, but we have not seen that at all from Wooloo. And it's just, he's managing to completely rinse these units here, trying to micro the peltast onto the Pharaoh there, but just a little bit of micro back. Villagers moving forward to grab that plenty vault. They're seeing this town center going up, and they're trying to prevent it. The Toxotes coming in to snipe the Pharaoh. It probably will be able to. There's no siege tower over to garrison that Pharaoh, and the town center will not be going up for the time being. And while we are playing this game, the longer it goes, the further we get along the line of these armory upgrades. Where are his armories? Here we go. Copper weapons coming through. He's got iron shields and bronze mail coming through. But while this is going on, Scorpion Man raids onto the villagers here. He's going to slow him down even more. Perseus coming out. You got to snipe that Perseus if you want to win this game. We do not see any sort of Mythic Age coming through for Roma. And it's looking like he's still producing villagers, so that's fine. But focusing down that Perseus, and Wooloo looks like he's got his plenty vault back, he's got his fortress back, and he is throwing a little bit of his advantage away here. But if he gets the town center back, he's playing from an even position with earlier Mythic Age and with Forge of Olympus, so he will be able to come out ahead here, and it's going to have to be 500 miles to Roma, figuring out a way to beat this souped up Hades army. And these Scorpion Men are just not going to cut it as soon as these Toxotes start getting their upgrades together. The Scorpion Man starts looking a little bit less fierce. And you can see once they have like 10 damage or so from iron weapons, the 25 damage from a Scorpion Man starts becoming, well, it's 6 here, so that's more than 1. So pick them off nice and quick. Couple that with also the heroes, you get the added bonus. I think it's an extra 15% or instead of 10% on the hero, so they do even more damage to your myth units. Nice micro running away from me, having to produce the cavalry there, and we've got weapons of the Titan coming out as well for Wooloo. Looking like he wants to build some Gastrophedes here to take down this town center. Remember, they get the elevation bonus, so they could be shooting the town center from here and just absolutely racking up the damage on this town center. Please correct me if I'm wrong, chat, about that one. I'm pretty sure you get the elevation bonus onto a building if you're hitting it with Gastrophedes, but could be wrong. But it's looking like Roma is completely gone 180 on this lead that he had, pushing into this town center, losing all those units, and the units popping out with iron upgrades or bronze upgrades at this point. And he's able to just sit under this town center. There's no fortified town centers here. The Hippocon looking for some gold mine villages to be sniping. Got Stables pushing forward from Wooloo here, and he's going to be taking this location anytime soon when the Gastrophedes come out, or maybe the Heliopolis come out. He needs to sacrifice some units or something to get those siege weapons out. But now the Hippocon are on top of this gold mine here. There are the majority of villagers over on this gold mine, but I don't think that Wooloo really knows about that one just yet. He hasn't sent villagers over there to sort out that bottom area, but quartering off the map with walls everywhere, very, very smart way to play this game. You've got to go for those side builds with walls first, give your villagers a chance to run away from things like mercenary here, which is what he's doing, picking off this market as well. Gold mine over here almost expired. We are seeing a counter raid up in this top corner over here with a Migdol stronghold going up as well. These spears are not very strong without their medium upgrades or anything like that, but they will be able to kill off these villagers who are trying to build up sentry towers, get the watchtower technology, which I assume is coming through. Not coming through just yet, but there is Son of Osiris. It's out. So we're going to be seeing if this Son of Osiris can turn the tides here, but Fortress is going up everywhere. We'll grabbing Engineers here and Heliopolis. And the Mummy trying to pick off some of these Hippocon over here. And he will be doing that one with his special there. And that'll be that for that location there. Migdol Stronghold almost up, but the Burning Pitch Toxotes over here do so much damage to that building construction. But Son of Osiris coming up now, and he's facing these Hades Shades and dealing with that very, very fast here. Does so much damage, does 60 damage per second is what I want to say he does. And then he has to deal with Toxotes here, but running away from those, can you be good for him? Has no armor upgrade. So this is like iron upgraded. Iron, apparently this is one of the only units which is per attack from Nakamura. Thank you, my dude. Most of the time this attack is damage per second, but for the Son of Osiris it must be just damage per attack. Maybe. I've been lied to before though, so who knows. But we are seeing this this push is doing some work here, but he is under attack here from the Heliopolis. Still no fortified town centers. Watchtower is going up over here. Walls coming up. I love this late game play from Wooloo. It's just something we don't see starting until like 30 minutes into the game, but he's done it so early and is really making a pathway for him, whereas 500MilesToRoma is just pushing through with a couple of buildings. No walls over here at all. And he's losing that town center, and he's going to be losing these myth units as well as the Heliopolis, or Heliopoli, I should say, make a move forward. These villages probably also have Divine Blood. Yep. They've got Divine Blood, so they're building buildings incredibly fast. Town Center now coming up, and this is just a match against the clock. We are seeing 500MilesToRoma. He's trying to prevent trade here, but he still has gold mines. Wooloo still has gold mines to play with. He doesn't even need trade at this point. Right? And he's also got a plenty vault to play with here. And here we go, the Heliopolis just taking down that Migdol stronghold, making a move for the town center here. Mercenary cavalry coming out, and we are seeing this town center going to get completely ripped to shreds. There's no way you can build enough mercenary cavalry here to pick off all of these Heliopoli, even with the villagers. And the villagers do have bonus against siege. It's still not going to be enough. So he loses his hometown center, and even though we're seeing all of these donkey caravans getting picked off, I'm sure that Wooloo is just going to rebuild some villages like he is right now. Getting villages out of a couple of different town centers here and put them straight onto gold, and then he just resets and he's totally fine. Does not need to have trade going at this point, and that's the game there as 500MilesToRoma taps out. GG. Well played by 500MilesToRoma. By Wooloo, I should say, taking the first game, going up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll get the next game going real soon.